Hey, what's up, everyone? Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess, here again for another video. In this video, I wanted to focus on some of the work that I do as a spirit extractor. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm just going to kind of backtrack and introduce myself again. As you heard, psychic mediums. I am a professional psychic medium. I'm also an angelic channeler. And, of course, I am known as a remote spirit extractor specialist. So the clearing work is what I'm going to be focusing on today, and it is a very unique and rare work that I do. And I know some people ask me some, questions regarding it because they're not really quite sure and don't really understand. I'm going to try to simplify what I do to the best of my ability. I know I kind of talked about this in a couple of the videos, but I want to focus on how someone recognizes that they need this type of clearing, that they require it. And also, I think it's really helpful to hear about some of the clients, how they came back and they literally had a night and day difference after this work. And I think that's really important to put out there because some people would be skeptical and like, okay, yeah, you're the spirit extractor specialist and everything like that. So what's the turnout? What have been the results of this type of work? And I'm going to talk about that. But first, let me just describe to you what a remote spirit extractor specialist is. This is what I call it, a spirit extractor specialist. So I remove all types of, really what they are is negative interferences. How do I do that? Some people have asked me, well, is this like shamanism? And I can see how you could maybe relate them somewhat in the fact that a shaman has to do work spiritually in order to heal someone. So, they do it that way, and I am not physically present when I'm doing this work as well, so I can see relating it that way, but they are very, very different, and I'll explain to you why. So I am not astrally projecting myself to go to a location. I am able to go to any location in the world, so this work is international, and I'm able to do so via my light body vehicle. So this is not astrally projecting myself. This is using the light body. What is the light body? So let me just try to simplify it. The light body, if anyone has heard of the Merkaba is sacred geometry. The easiest way for me to explain it is a combination of feminine and masculine energies. It is a multi-dimensional vehicle. It enables me to travel, to go beyond any kind of time or space limitations or dimensional limitations in any way. So this vehicle is made out of a grid work of light, sacred geometry, also known as the Merkaba. It's something that has to be activated in order to utilize it. So, someone has to live a spiritual life, work on especially on their chakras, on their higher chakras, in order to activate this light body vehicle. So this is what I use. This enables me to do the work that I do as far as the travel part. That's pretty much the beginning of it because that's how I get from one place to another. Okay, so it's not astral travel. So I use the light body vehicle, and I also have very innate energies, the ones that are natural to me. And these energies that I particularly use, which would take too long to get into it, but they come from my soul, these different energies that I use. And I'm able to use these energies when I travel to a place in order to extract all types of negative interferences, and this is in physical spaces and also in soul spaces. For any of you who want to know a little bit more about my background, you can go to theparanormalpriestess.com to just learn about some of my past lives and what my experiences have been that have led me up to being able to do this work. So I'm able to remove interferences by traveling in my light body to any location in the world and by using the innate abilities that my soul contains. Now, what many people don't realize, and it definitely pays to mention this again, is that anytime someone is experiencing activity in their physical spaces, which is known as the common space, they are more than likely experiencing things on energetic levels as well, and the two work off of each other. So, if the physical space is cleared and the energetic bodies are not addressed fully and completely, this would just create or reenact activity, okay? So it wouldn't be long before activity would start up all over again and the clearing would have failed. So what is really required is that all spaces, I can't stress this enough, all spaces are being addressed with these dark entities. Now, just to kind of give you an idea, because it would be really, I think, very complex to get into this, nor would I really want to get too complex publicly with it. But let's just say that lots of people only consider the worst of the worst to be demonic. You hear it all the time. It's demonic, it's demonic, it's demonic. Oh my God, it's demonic. But what people don't realize, and the only reason why I do is because of the experiences, because of the work that I do, is that is a tip of the iceberg. There are so many different types of lower beings. Demonic is one of them. But you also have satanic beings. You have extraterrestrial type beings. You have plenty of different beings. You have a being known as projections. And really what they are is that a lot of these darker beings, they'll create a being from themselves, which I know sounds kind of strange, but basically they're sending out a dark soldier on their behalf to psychically attack someone. And there can be many different manifestations or forms that are sent from these dark beings as well. So when people sometimes believe that they're experiencing only demonic activity, yes, it's true, they could be experiencing demonic activity, but chances are, and I've seen it too many times to count, that there are many other things happening, such as manifestations and projections and malicious souls that are happening in conjunction with the demonic activity. So it pays to really mention that, because so many people just assume it's like black and white. You know, if it's severely evil and dark, it's automatically classified as demonic, which is not true. There are so many different types of lower beings, and I've experienced many of them. Of course, I will never ever claim to be any type of expert in this. Who can really claim that, honestly? I'm specialized in the type of method that I do, and I have most definitely experienced a lot, and I'm just going to continue to learn and experience. So, just like everyone else who is in the supernatural or in the paranormal, we're always experiencing and always learning and always opening ourselves up to newer information. So I just wanted to say that. So that's basically the work that I do. And when I address this negative energy, it's not only that it's beings, it's also the negative energies that they can place within someone's energetic fields. And for that, it gets to be somewhat complex. And again, this is why a lot of clearings don't fully work, because the actual negative energies or items that are placed within someone's energetic fields are not being recognized. Okay, they're not being recognized, that they're not conscious of it, and it's not being removed. And that's a problem. Again, a lot of those types of things, like, they're not completely resolved because there are other factors that a clearer may not be aware of. So that's what makes this work so very unique. So I am able to do this all over the world. What has the feedback been like? Actually, before I even get into the feedback, how do I recognize that someone requires this? When I read someone is usually when this comes up. Not always. Some people will maybe watch a video, or they'll see something on social media that I put up, and it might ring a bell. But a lot of times I'll be doing a session with someone, and I can tell from just what their angels are saying that there are definitely interferences with their path. They could have trouble manifesting good within their life. They could have damaged energy centers, like damaged third eyes, and I've come across that a couple of times. They could be twin flames, and this happens, I can't even tell you how many times. A majority of my clients happen to be twin flames. So, and it doesn't matter if they are in physical union or not, even if they're just connected via the higher self, there are attacks that are happening with both parties. And they end up describing, some of the anxiety that they normally get, and fear and nervousness, just various signs of oppression, attachment will come up, that they haven't been feeling themselves, that they've been feeling very, very drained, that they've been seeing very strange things in their dreams, or maybe in between sleeping and awake. So there's just so many signs that would, for them, point to, I think that I have some sort of issue happening. I'm going to reach out to Elizabeth and have a session and see if I can clarify, or she can confirm what's happening. And so I do a lot of sessions where they end up turning into spirit extractions. So I'm there to not only just explain what's happening with their life purpose, or with their twin flame, or to speak about their health, or whatever the angels want me to tell them. But a lot of times people are guided to me because they have actual lower being interferences. And so the two things work together, the reading work and the clearing work that I do. So someone usually will just have a sense that their life is just off the rails. They just can't manifest good, like I had said. They just are feeling like every time they try to take a step in regards to doing their mission work or their life purpose, it's like something's just not letting them do it, or they keep having these fears. Some people, they would have just anxiety attacks out of the blue, just be very, very fearful within their certain parts of their homes, just all types of various signs that there most likely are interferences from lower beings. So the work, I perform this work, and when I perform it, I make sure that I let them know, when I'm performing it, if they have any types of concerns or questions beforehand. I am always very compassionate and very open to speaking with clients, making sure that they're understanding as best they can, and they're comfortable with what I'm going to be doing. I want them to be comfortable with me as a person, most especially when I'm going to be working on energy. And some of these clients that I have worked on have come from former healers that really did some major damage to their energy. There'll probably be a video in the future about some of that and what to look out for, because unfortunately it does happen. And when we want to reach out for healing, and we're vulnerable at a certain vulnerable state, sometimes we trust the wrong people. Unfortunately, it does happen. So they have to really, they have to feel comfortable with me, and I'm there to answer any types of concerns. Once the work is finished, I will connect back with them, and I will ask them, how are you feeling? How is your physical space? Have you felt any type of shift happen? Always I get a resounding yes. Most definitely. Most definitely do I feel an ultra shift in my physical space, and I also actually feel a lot lighter. Many of my clients, many of them, have also reported that they actually felt me doing the work. So their higher self was aware, because of course I have to work with their higher self when I'm working on their energy. Their higher self, they were just able to feel that I was doing the work. So, it's really, I find that kind of fascinating when they do tell me that. So one definite telltale sign is that if someone is feeling a difference, if they're feeling a positive difference within their physical space, quickly, and within themselves, again, normally quickly from what I hear, you know that something definitely was shifted in the right direction. So, because some people are like, well, if you cleared, am I going to feel anything? What am I going to feel? How do I know that she really did what she said that she did? So that's what I pretty much hear right away from mostly everybody, that they feel light right away. Other things that I've reported, now after I do the extraction work, I normally have these people usually stay as loyal clients, which I'm so grateful for and so honored to guide and to read. But the clients have definitely reported to me, and I can also tell from doing their reading work that their life has really changed, has really shifted in so many areas. So just for an example, if someone was very, very anxious and very fearful about their life purpose, or if they were good enough, or to take steps or something like that, and they always felt like they were blocked in my life, something's stopping me. It's like they would just drive their life forward and finally be in that confidence, finally embrace their gifts, work on themselves, take the steps to be their authentic selves in the world, to do their life purpose. They finally are able to do this because those interferences and their energies were removed. Their physical space, like I said, a huge shift, a lot lighter. Doesn't feel heaviness. They don't feel anxious when they're there. They're not getting the attacks, supposedly when they lie down at night and something's in their room or something's trying to hold them down. Fantastic. Damaged energy. I've had clients where they've had their third eye damaged, and lo and behold, they can finally use their natural clairvoyance. This is amazing. It's amazing. Other things I didn't mention before, I want to mention this work is also considered an activation for many. Okay, I basically do whatever the divine guides me to do. And sometimes people do require activation, being connected with the divine, or they do require that their gifts are open, that their gifts weren't open before. And so I help uncap those gifts, and those gifts start to surface. And my clients begin to finally find out that, wow, I have some pretty significant psychic abilities or significant healing abilities that I just wasn't aware of, or not to this level. So this work really does so many things that it's very, very hard to even explain all of it. I just really couldn't, but I'm just touching on a lot of the main things. So really, it's been such a great, great blessing to be able to do this. The only thing that would stop me from performing the work is if the divine did not guide me to work with you for whatever reason. That might not be the correct healer for you. Most definitely, universal laws I would not be able to interfere with. So, karma, dharma. Sometimes people do choose to learn certain lessons that involve these types of interferences. So, that is something definitely that I have to respect. Yeah, it's really about divine will and the universal laws. Um, Also, too, it pays to mention sometimes things like family curses or things that would not be in my highest good to try to address, that it might affect me in an adverse way. But you know what? It really, really depends on the personal situation. So I always have to look into it and let a client know what I can or cannot do. So I always trust that, and I always trust who's guided to me. So I think I'm just going to really keep it at that because I don't want to make this super long. But I hope this kind of gave some of you an idea. Maybe there are people out there who are watching this right now going, wow, I didn't even think about it, that, I think that I may have, lower being interferences. And this is why X, Y, and Z has happened throughout my life. So you can always check with me. Go to theparanormalpriestess.com. I ask that if you do feel that you would probably require this type of work, please contact me first. Don't just pay for a session. Contact me on my contact page, my email, and let me look into it for you, and just to make sure that I'm able to address it. Okay? That's just really, really important. And I'm here for you guys. So I'm really happy, honored, proud to be offering this work. I am so overjoyed by what I've been hearing from clients who have received spirit extraction work. It's awesome. It's amazing to hear that, I somehow was able to assist and just to help you out and to just get you guys on the right track. So I'm very humbled by this, no ego whatsoever. And, for any of you who are interested, you can go onto theparanormalpriestess.com. You can read the testimonials. You can read my bio if you want to just learn a little bit more about me. And hopefully I'll be in touch with some more of you guys. So that's it. Brightest blessings to all of you. And this was perfect for this video. From the heart of the darkness is born the light. Take care. I will see you guys shortly.